guys, well, we are leaving Charcuterie Bay. We did not get to go back today and check out the doctor's house at the leper colony. Yesterday we had some south winds and a lot of fetch in this bay, and we were
fishing bucking bronco style.
Yeah, we were definitely bucking bronco for, gosh, a couple of hours. It was kind of like a little reminiscent of being in the hurricane. But looks like winds are coming out of the same place today. We just really didn't want to be dealing with that all day. So we are heading back to Scotland, where we know it's pretty calm and quiet most of the time. Plus, Remedy hauls out next week. They need to go see about picking up an air conditioner that they can use on their boat on the Hard. So there's some things that we need to get done. So we're just gonna head back there, but just letting you guys know we didn't make it into the other set of ruins, which is kind of disappointing, but it's okay. Maybe we'll be back out here at some other point and I can pop in and see what it's like.
There's more ruins in the world to see.
Yeah, there's plenty more ruins to see. So anyway, if anything exciting happens, we'll let you know, but I plan it, or I expect it will be pretty calm and peaceful for the next week. See ya. We didn't see this one when we came in, but there's another house over there, and I do know that I read that they kept the men and the women separate for a long time on the island. I think after World War II, when they were able to better control the disease and understood the spread of it better, they allowed them to commingle, which is when they had the problem with the babies. But I'm wondering if that may have been the second set of residents over on that side. Such an interesting history. I haven't been able to track down the book. I messaged the publisher earlier this week to see how I could get a copy, and he just responded with the fact that they don't have it in stock. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Be interesting to read. The book is called Called to Serve. The story of Cha-Cha Care leper colony in Trinidad or something. Be pretty cool. Sometime this week we'll be doing some boat projects. We're installing a webcam camera on the boat so that we can kind of keep an eye on what's happening, and when people come, somebody were to board the boat, it's got a light that activates when it detects a human figure. So it'll be, you know, just one more way to make ourselves feel a little bit more secure and safe when we're out here in these kind of isolated anchorages. So, all right, I'll let you see when we do some of that stuff. Bye. Okay, guys, we're back in Scotland Bay, and one thing we've I think mentioned before is these Trinidad is dirty. Like, there's so much stuff floating in the water all the time, and I guess Mary and Phil saw some kids picking up trash, so they got motivated to pick up trash. So here we are in the boat getting ready to pick up trash. You look out over here, like look at all the bottles floating here, and they go all the way up. They come around that corner. So anyway, we're gonna do a little trash pickup. Probably doesn't matter in the big scheme of things, but we're gonna do it anyway. Do not videotape my butt from the boat.
You missed this one. It'll be a long trip. Reverse.
So much trash out here. It's really sad.
What's that, a condom?
No.
We'll get it. Looks like a cigar thing.
Looks like a, you think it's what?
Cigar thing? Alright, reach. Start bag 2.
Yep.
There's a whole meal. So the current washes things in and
Just
out.
does this, yeah. I think it's all the stuff that was up there. And you're right. I think it just goes in and out of this bag.
Yeah, because
Whatever
otherwise
they leave up there.
this whole thing would be garbage if it didn't wash out. Just the tide brings it in, then it brings it out.
But I think a lot of it is just party bags.
Probably.
So, like I said, not sure we're making, I mean, we're making a short-term difference, but, you know, tomorrow it'll be full again with more. Because, like AJ said, it just,
The culture here is different. They don't even
Yeah.
think conservation.
they don't care. They just throw trash in bags and leave it sitting on the beach, and then the water comes up and takes it out, and it washes it out, and then it comes back in, and it's just continually recycling through the bay. It's pretty gross. Turtle!
Turtles don't mind garbage, I guess.
Yes, no. This is ridiculous. I mean, there's so much trash. That's got like bugs all over it. I really don't want that on my boat. See all those bugs? And it stinks. What do you want me to do?
Alright, so we already cleaned this up.
We've been out here 20 minutes.
Yeah, it just keeps
Look
coming
at all
in.
those bottles. We already picked up everything in that area. Now there's that many more. We could do this all day.
Forever and ever.
Yeah, it would just never stop.
These couple, I guess. Gotta stop sometime.
Yeah.
How's our bag? Full?
No. This is the last bag though.
Alright. We'll fill that one up
guess.
and then. Missed.
Alright, so we just converted everything into a big bag that's a little sturdier. So hopefully
We were
not.
out there for what, 15 minutes and 20
Yeah,
minutes?
we were out there for probably 30 minutes. Probably 30 minutes, but picked up an entire bag of trash. And there's still just so much out there. You know, at some point you just have to stop because you just can't do it forever because nobody else does it and it's all coming in from the ocean.
Alright, so we're in Trinidad and it's time to clean the bottom of the boat again. Actually a little bit early. I usually do it every 4 to 4.5 weeks. And I'm about at 3.5 weeks. There's almost no soft growth and it's all barnacles. It's the worst barnacles I've ever had on the boat. but they're really easy to get off with the scraper. So I'm just going to show you. Oh, and there's a huge difference between the new copper coat and the old copper coat. So this was almost a year ago in Grenada, we had the water line done, so about 16 inches from the water line under the boat. New copper coat, and the rest of it is the old copper coat. And there's a huge difference. You can almost see the line growth of barnacles where the old copper coat is, and almost no growth or barnacles on the new. So I'm just going to show you that real quick. So implements of destruction for cleaning the bottom of the boat. I've got a scraper. This actually used to be a full scraper. I've done it about 4 times. It's probably about 3 inches longer than it is now. Over time it just wears down. Suction cup, so I can hold on to the bottom of the boat while I'm scraping. And after I'm done scraping, I rub it down with a Brillo pad or scrubby, just to get all the fine stuff off. And obviously a mask. And I've got my hookah. So it's basically just a dive regulator hooked up to a compressor. Keel coolers and the grounding plate. I have a wire brush that I use to scrape that. It's basically my barbecue brush. And sometimes I use a screwdriver to pry off some of the oysters. Oysters like to grow in the crevices and cracks. And usually need a screwdriver to get those off. So anyway, I'm going to jump in and show you the difference between old copper coat and new copper coat. Alright, so back to the autopilot again. It's probably a month later since we've worked on this. Last we needed the mounting plate to be modified, which we dropped it off at a fabricator in Grenada, and then like a day later a hurricane came through and we decided to leave for Trinidad, and ended up leaving the mounting bracket in Grenada because it was a weekend and they were closed. So anyway, we found a cruiser in Grenada to bring it back to us, and they brought it to us in Trinidad probably about a week ago. So now it's a nice rainy day and I'm going to stay inside and complete this. So here's the bracket. Basically what we had done is these 4 were holes before, and we had them stretched to slots. They did kind of a crappy job with the slots. I could have done just as bad of a job myself for free. So we'll see if they fit. And then also we had them add 4 holes, 1, 2, 3, 4, to mount the new autopilot on top of. So I'm going to line all this stuff up and see if it works. So first I'm going to put this on the autopilot just to make sure the bolt holes line up. If they do, then I'm going to dry fit this down in that hole right there. Before, this was up too high, so we had them slot the holes to drop it down so that the bulkhead touches the top of this, which is this. We needed this before it was sitting up about 5/8 higher, and I need it to drop down as low as possible. So that's why we put the slots in to drop it down. So let me line those up, dry fit everything, see if it works. Alright, holes line up. That fits on there good, so I'm going to take this off and I'll see if it lines up down there. looks like it fits. Got some nylon washers. I think that's to help with dissimilar metal, because this backing plate is aluminum, I'm assuming. I'll put them back on. Stainless washer, lock washer, and the nuts. Alright, that is installed. Alright, so before, this was flipped around and mounted in here, but with the new ram, the ram is shorter, so I had to flip it around and mount it on the other side, which seems to work pretty good. Just had to do a little bit of modifications, and that fits in there well. Alright, so next I'm going to put the pin in the quadrant, which is under here. I need to go unlock the helm so I can turn it, install that, and then we'll put the ram in. Alright, the helm's unlocked. Should be able to pull this. And install the new pin in there, which here's the new pin and the old pin. So this is the old pin, that's the new pin. And you can see the new pin is quite a bit longer. And that's because, well, this is the new pin. This is the pin that came with the new ram, which was too short. Let's see, do I have the old pin in here? Yes. So this is the original pin that was in there, and you can see the threaded section is quite a bit longer, which is what I need to get through this. The thickness of this quadrant, or not the quadrant, but the I don't know what you call it, but the piece that is bolted onto the quadrant for the ram is quite a bit thicker than the ram was designed for. So the ram was designed for a minimum thickness of a 1/2 inch and a maximum thickness of 3/4. And the whole thickness of this is actually inch and, let's see if that's 3/4, inch and a half. So that's why I needed to fabricate this. Here, I'll show you. So this is the one that came with the ram, and you can see that's just flush, right? Which doesn't leave any room at all to get a nut washer and all that on there. The old one was barely long enough to get a washer and a nut on there. The new one that I had fabricated, took it to a machine shop. Alright, so here's the finished product. The long one is the new one. The old shorter one obviously was too short for my quadrant. So basically my quadrant is really thick. Looks good. I'm happy. And that was about $130 US to have that made from solid piece of stainless. Anyway, I'll show you when I get the rest of the parts together and get the whole ram installed. So my has plenty of room for washer, lock nut, and or a washer, a lock washer, and a nut. So let me put that on. And also gets it down. Alright, so true boat project fashion, here's the next problem. So the nuts I have fit on the old one. This is the one that came with the ram. It's on that. Does not fit on this one. I think the end of the thread is maybe a little gummed up because if I put these on each other, it's the same thread. So I don't have a tap to go over this to chase the thread, but I have 3 nuts, so I'm going to try to force the nut on, which I don't like that word, force, but that's my option right now. Let's see what happens. Hopefully it's pretty tight. I don't want to go too much too fast. Don't see why it's not going on. Unless it's a different diameter. So the threads are the same. I don't have a micrometer to measure. That's going nice. These threads feel the same to me. It's the same thread. It's got to be a slightly bigger diameter, maybe. I don't know. Let me try forcing it a little bit more. So I don't think that's the problem now. We have to take this back to the machine shop guy. He's in the boatyard down the road. It just feels super tight, but not. I don't like it. Yeah. Let me go see. Maybe it's metric versus imperial. So I don't want to go any more than this. It's always something. So, yep, I'm stopped again. Can't complete the project until I get a nut that's on there. Let me go look in my bag of tricks and see. Like I said, these threads seem the same, but maybe it's a different diameter. Let me go see if I got something else, another nut that might fit on here. Alright, so I measured this and this. I don't have a micrometer, so it's not exact, but the diameters of these two appear to be the same. The threads, when I lay them on top of each other, seem to be the same. So I decided to lubricate this and put the nut on forcefully. Figure maybe some of the threads were gummed up. and it did go on. I got it, I'm going to say, the full nut depth on to these threads, and then trying to take it off, it got extremely difficult to come off, and it started, you know, getting warm as I was forcing it. So now it looks cross-threaded. Either it's cross-threaded coming off, which it was not going on, so I don't understand that, or because it's so damn tight. There is a hole in the end of the pin. I assume it's to, you know, put it on a lathe and turn it. So maybe this section might be bending now. Not sure, but anyway, I've got to stop what I'm doing. I'm going to go back to the machine shop and have him remove the nut and figure out what's going on, because the nuts, it seems the same, but obviously something's off. So then I was thinking, well, I can continue installing the RAM, everything except for putting the pin on. But for some reason, if I can't get the pin fabricated, I can't move the boat with the RAM in there flopping around. It needs to be completely out of that space back there, so I can steer the boat without the RAM. So it just means I have to stop completely, wait till I get the pin, and then install everything at the same time. So it's not a wasted day. I did get the mounting bracket installed. That went pretty good, but typical boat project fashion, something messes up. So that was it. So now I'm another, I don't know how long it's going to take to get this, but it's Saturday. I'm not sure if he's open or not, so which means I got to wait till Monday, and then it'll probably be, you know, Wednesday of next week before I get it again, which is fine. It's just frustrating that this was supposed to be an easy project, but I knew better, and I was right. It turned into a bigger project. I'm just mad, that's all. Anyway, we'll update you when I get the new part. All right, back to the autopilot. Third time's the charm, hopefully. I've got my pin back from the fabricator, the machine shop. I brought it back. They got the nut off, they rechased the threads. So now I have a nut that spins on freely. So what I'm probably going to do, instead of using a regular nut for the lock washer, I've got a nylon or a nylock nut that I'll use, which actually will get it lower and on. So I think some of these threads may have been slightly compromised because of the cross threading or whatnot. So I think going with a nylock nut, getting all the way down to all the good threads. So the top half, or the top third, I think was a little bit compromised because it's a little sloppy at the top. You can see it wobbles around, but once we get down to here, these threads are all still perfect shape. So I think that's what I'm going to do. We'll put this through, put a washer on, and then the nylock nut on top of that. So anyway, we'll start working on this project again. Hopefully we'll have a working autopilot in a couple hours. I'll show you stuff as I go. All right. Beth's hair everywhere. Nicely. Alright, so I've got the this mounting surface is aluminum and this is stainless steel. So I'm going to put some anti-seize on it that helps with dissimilar metal corrosion. That should be enough. Stuff's like glitter, gets everywhere and doesn't go away. I like it. All right, next step. Got to fit in the ram. So it's going to sit on there, bolt to this, and then the ram goes to the pin, and we'll see how it fits. Alright, so just a side-by-side comparison, old versus new. I've got these lined up with the center pivot point roughly lined up together, and you can see that this is several inches shorter than the old one. So that's why I had to take this bracket and flip it around. Before, this bracket was over on this side and bolted in. So I had to flip it around, drill some new holes, and hopefully it all fits in. So getting ready to do that now. So I've got the bolts pre-installed in here, which I might have to take them out. Oh, there we go. Here's Beth choking in the background. She's got allergies going today. Ta-da. Oh. I think we might be good. Alright, there's a I don't know what you call that. It's not a spacer, but a race or that I gotta pull out because the diameter of this hole is exactly the diameter of the pin, and I think I shoved this in there before because I was considering using the old pin, which is a narrower diameter. So let me pull that out. Actually, maybe it'll pull it right through. I need two hands. And grab some needle nose and pull that out. Alright, hold on. Turn skid that way. Oh, I bet you there's a limit. I might have this, the mounting plate on the bottom turned 90 degrees. I'm going to take it off and see if that's a thing. Because they got plenty of rotation this way, but it bottoms out. Oh, wait a minute, it just freed up. Alright, we're good. Alright, I had that removed because I was going to originally use that with the old pin. Alright, now I can't see because the camera's not in the way, but uh-oh, I didn't check that either. Damn it. This. So that makes a little bit of sense, if that's the case. This new pin I had fabricated may be too big to fit in. Let's see. Let's hope that's not the case, because then I gotta go back to the guy again. Dang it. Doesn't feel like it wants to go. Alright, I'm going to take the pin out again and see if it actually will fit through there. Alright, here's the pin that came with it. Which is a very tight fit. That should fit because it came with it, so I wonder if it's a temperature thing. Oh, there we go. Alright, that does fit, but it's very tight, which it should be. Not tight, but it requires perfect alignment. Let's see if I can get that with this. And I need to be able to see better. The camera's in the way. So, put you guys over here for a second. Okay, let's see if I can get this in. Alright, it's being difficult. I'm going to take the pin off, stick the pin, take this off again. I'm going to stick it through there just to make sure it goes, because I did have that piece made, and it's possible it's slightly off, but it's also possible I can't get the right angle to get it to go on there, but I want to make sure it fits on before I force anything or scratch anything up. Alright. I should have checked that before I put the pin on. Please fit. Oh, welcome to boat life. That does not fit. So this diameter is slightly bigger than this one. Need to get a micrometer on there. I thought bringing it to the machine shop, the guy could work within the tolerances because I brought him this one. So make this a bit longer. And he did, but his tolerances were not close enough. That is not fitting in there, which makes sense why the nut didn't go on now. Damn it. I don't have a precision micrometer on the boat, so I couldn't measure. I did with a with an old school. It's not a micrometer. It doesn't go down to the thousandths or hundredths. I don't think so. But it looked close, but it's not close enough. So I got to go back. This probably has to be. Well, I'm assuming he can turn it again, but yeah, this does not fit. That's disappointing. Alright, what else can be done? Does it fit through the old one? No. Alright. Can I take this off? I need to take this off and bring this to him so he knows what it needs to fit through. So third time is not a charm. And this is the one piece I didn't think I'd have a problem with because I brought it to, like I said, a machine shop, and they're supposed to be pretty precision. And this is the piece I'm having all the problem with. Looks good. It doesn't fit. That definitely goes through. This one is a no-go. It is too big. Alright. Alright, well, it's going to be another couple of days. Because today's Sunday, I got to bring it back to them, I guess tomorrow, Monday. But I've got other people coming to the boat tomorrow for rigging and chain plates, so I don't know if I'll get over there or not. We have one more week here in the slip. I can do it out on anchor, but disappointing. Alright, I'm going to try to take this off. Let me get the ram out again, and I'll show you if I can get it. I don't know if I have a wrench small enough. Because I could put a wrench around this, but I need to keep this ram from turning. And I don't want to scratch that up. Alright. Alright, so this is the closest thing I have to a micrometer, which it is not. It's not that precision. But I got this from my grandfather, and it's been more of a novelty than anything, but I'm using it to measure right now. So I'm taking this. Alright, so that is the diameter of the one this is the pin that came with it. That's too short. This is the pin I had manufactured. So you can see that does not go right over it. So the new one is too big. Let's push that through. Nice and tight. Yeah, that's significantly. That's like a 30-second. You can see that goes back and forth. There's a lot of wobble in there. And this is tight. So it is whatever that distance is. It's like about a 30-second to me, I'm sure. You know, in thousandths or whatever. I don't have a way to measure that. So I got to go back to the machine shop, and he'll take this one and turn it. He doesn't have to remake it, but basically from this point there to there needs to be turned down. And I do not have a wrench. So right there, I don't have a wrench that narrow to hold on to this piston while I take the end off, so I can just bring him the eye. I mean, he should be able to do it with measurements, but I want to bring this whole thing, and I'm probably going to stand there while he fixes it, and we'll do that, because I don't want to leave this ram. This ram is like 2,500 bucks, and I'm not going to leave that with him. So, but I want to bring him everything so he can measure what it's supposed to be, measure what he actually made, and measure what it's supposed to go through or be mounted to. And like I said, that's pushing me another couple days behind, but you know, we're here in Trinidad for a couple of months, so we got the time. It's just frustrating. So I gotta, you know, this is where we sleep. So I've got to put all this back together and take it apart and put it back together again, hopefully one more time. So anyway, I'll show you what the results are when we go to the machine shop. So I don't think I'm going to machine, or I probably won't video me going to the machine shop and tell him he screwed up again. But anyway, like I said, that also explains why I had difficulty with this nut going on here, because the diameter was slightly too big. Which is pretty disappointing, because machine shops are pretty, you know, working tight tolerances. They should have been able to make that no problem. Anyway, it is what it is. Yelling and screaming or getting upset doesn't help anything, so we'll get it fixed and installed eventually.